So when I moved back to Nairobi, uh, life was not easy, especially coming from Lamu Malindi, where whatever amount of money you get, maisha ni mazuri. Wewe walapweza tu na vitu vizuri. Lakini in Nairobi it was tough. I remember there were times where you wake up in the morning, you only have 50 shillings. You don't know, and I used to live in Kibra that time. Actually, I used to live with my sister in Kibra. So now moving to Nairobi, it was true hustling. Now, as a true hustler, you have to think very hard in Nairobi, because if you don't, you won't be able to move around or survive.
So how did you survive?
I think one of the things that made me survive is honesty, and trust. Also, just doing the right thing. Because I remember one of the calls that I will say somehow changed my life. We used to work 24/7. In fact, when I'm working at night, I will come in at 7, but when you call me at lunchtime, I'm still in the office. But when I'm working daytime, I will come at 7, but I will leave probably at 10 p.m. And we were very few people. We were around 7, 8 people running the whole country, making sure that all data, whether it is for banks, corporations, internet, is distributed all over the country and out of the country. So one night when I was working on my night shift, a call came, like many other calls. This guy called from the US. He was called Edwin Mumanyi. So he had inquiries. He was asking me about how he wanted to get E1 connections to do voice termination.
What's an E1 connection?
An E1 connection is each channel is 64K. So 64 times 30, it's around 2 meg. It's actually a 2 meg connectivity. But then we used to technically we call it an E1 because it is a terminology we give to 30 channels. And each channel has a 64 kbps. So he wanted that to do some termination, because at that time the call termination was so interesting and had a lot of money then. So he called me and I supported him without asking him questions. It was like free consultancy. And I made whatever connections that he needed for him to do what he wanted to do, because he just decided to call the main Kenyan data center at that time. And then after that, we built friendship with Edwin. After building friendship with Edwin, all the communications within the country relied on the same routers that we have now, the Cisco routers. So, but the Cisco routers then, even the small one, which was like the 900 series, was like $3,000. But when I was looking online on eBay, it was costing like $500 on eBay auctions. So I told Edwin, by the way, can you buy a couple of routers and send them to me? Because already here on this side, I'm already helping him out without asking him for anything.
So you're offering free consultancy?
Yes, I supported him
because
I felt this is a Kenyan based in Baltimore and wanted to invest back into the country.
Was there an end game to that? Because most people, we are in a space where you reach out to someone and you want them to help, and they say, "How much are you paying me?"
I think that is where people go wrong. It first give your best. Later on, you don't know what will come up. Edwin became, just to make the story short because it's very long, I'll need to write a book of what we've done with Edwin. We started doing business worth tens of thousands of dollars. And we've not met.
Wow.
So we did transactions, a lot of transactions, for probably 2-3 years before I met Edwin, before he came back to the country. We did a number of startups at that time. We did Tumaleo.com. Tumaleo.com, what we were doing is trying we were learning it from the Hawala then. The Somalis were doing Hawala money transfer. So we wanted Kenyans from abroad to use their credit cards to send money, Kenyans in the diaspora, to bring money into to their relatives in Kenya. So we started that application, Tumaleo.com. Tumaleo.com, we did it very well, and by that time I've not met Edwin. we
You're
we
still just
yes,
talking.
talking
but
and,
okay.
and registering companies.
Yes.
In fact, even right now, if Edwin has a venture, because we are also doing different things, if he has something to do in Kenya and then they need a Kenyan shareholder, he gives my name
Okay.
while he has relatives here.
Because you built that trust.
Yes.